All right, now we're going to demonstrate how to cut out the eye of your mask. Now, one of the reasons that I'm demonstrating it is because people make some mistakes often. First off, when you're cutting, you have to be very careful because you need a sharp tool. Right now, what I have here is not a sharp edge. So what I'm going to have to do is the reason I know that it's not sharp, it's like coated. Either he could wash it. It probably, if he washed it, it would be all right, but I want to make this as easy as possible. So I'm going to open up my X-Acto knife. You purchase these with your packet, and put another one in, and the way you do that is like this, and then you spin it tight like this. Make sure that it's not going to wiggle out. All right, now we have two destinations, obviously two eyes, so two destinations, one going here, one going here. So I'm going to start on one corner, and I'm going to slowly just go back and forth. Now, if you don't like chalk on the board, it could skeeve you a little bit because it has that same kind of sensation when you're doing this. Now, the mistake people make is they go in and they try to cut starting at the end. Well, what happens is the eye starts falling in. What I do is I start a little bit in so that it still stays attached, which gives me stability to be able to come around, walk it around. Make sure you have these drawn on here accurately, like this. Then you can finish this side, and then when you're done, you can come over here and just flip-flop it and finish that side. Now, one of the things that I do, just to make sure that I have it, this fits in here nicely, is I flip it completely opposite to make sure that the shape fits into the other size, or else we might have two different sizes that we're dealing with. And then I can trace that so that it makes sure that we're not looking at some kind of lopsided image. So then I know, see, look at the difference. So when you zoom in here, you can see the eye that he drew was smaller. Now that I have them both the same size, I'm pretty sure now that I'm going to get something similar. So now I can just spin my mask around and I can do the exact same set of procedures, starting in the corner here and coming up. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Now, one of the things you can also do is once it's completed, once you actually have the eyes out, if you want to stabilize it, you can use some gesso, paint over them so that it dries and it's a nice texture. If it's really raggedy, like somebody's that I cut out earlier, where I cut somebody's mouth out, I recommended that they take plaster gauze and reseal it and dry it with the plaster gauze so that it makes a nice clean edge. You want them to look nice and professional. All right, again, I have this right now, so I'm going to come in here, finish off the same way I told you to do with that little area. Now you're going to see that if you look inside here, there's all these fluff things, that you can kind of like take your finger, clean up. You can either use black gesso and come in here and kind of clean up the inside, or you can start with white gesso so that you have a cleaner edge to put. But either way, you might want the black eye line, because if you put the black gesso in, and then you can repaint the white gesso on the outside, or vice versa, whichever works. But the cleaner, the better, the nicer to look, and then you got a finished, beautiful mask with eyes cut out.